Hey, what's up guys, Auto Fanatics. So today's video, we're gonna be doing a full AMSOIL filter and oil change on the Camaro ZL1 1LE. So just to show you guys quick, this is the LT4 power plant. Now, other misconceptions, people probably think that this car is a dry sump. It's not. This holds 10 quarts of oil, and it actually has a baffled oil pan, very similar to the Shelby GT350. But for anybody that's got a GT350 that watches this channel, is gonna watch this video, I think you guys are going to be pretty jealous at how easy this car is to change the oil versus the GT350 where they put the stupid filter location. So what we're going to be using today, we're going to be using the AMSOIL Signature Series 0W40. Now, GM changed their specification to like this Dexos series, and they have like a Mobil 1 oil that they recommend, and they kind of play around with different oils, but this oil meets and exceeds the rating. Now, as far as the oil filter, this is the OEM oil filter, the PF64. We're not going to use this today. I picked this up at the local dealer recently, but we're going to be using the better AMSOIL oil filter, part number EA15K50. You guys could order this from amsoil.com. They sell the whole kit for like 200 bucks shipped. Just need an oil filter removal wrench and a 3/8 ratchet with a 15mm socket. So it's pretty simple. So you can see I got the car supported. I do this in all my oil changes because I'm doing it outside right now, on my service stands, and I got the jacks in there just to make it easier to take the car apart. I got a knee pad. I'm just gonna throw some of my foam squares to lay down because it's pretty cold out right now. I already got the car up to temperature, and we're gonna pop off. See the Dexos, that's their little rating. We're gonna pop this off 0W40. So believe it or not, my old Alpha used to take 0W40. Now the new one takes a different rating, and I'm gonna be doing that oil change any day now. But this car is an absolute mess. You can kind of see it. So this is going to be the winter wash video of 2024, so stay tuned to that. We'll be doing that later on this week. But I wanted to get the oil done today because A, I have time, it's early in the morning, and B, the car is already at its break-in mileage. It has about 1,100 miles, and it's really good to take out the factory fill oil because any engine, any brand new car is gonna burn oil no matter what. That's just the way it is. My Alpha actually burned up quite a lot of oil. I'm actually down to 3/4 on the dipstick right now, so I'm gonna have to do that this week. But with something like this, with this much horsepower, you definitely want to change the oil and definitely put a higher grade oil. And this is some of the best oil. I've been using this for years in all of my cars, foreign, domestic. This stuff is great. And actually, since I switched over to this oil, I stopped burning oil in my GT350s, 350R, my Alphas, all the cars that I had over years, and I show them on the channel. So I definitely highly recommend, if you guys don't want to, go get stuff locally or go to your local dealer, definitely do the stuff yourself. It's really easy. You don't really need many tools to do it. And the way they made this car, the way they designed this car, is that you could simply do this in your driveway or in your garage any time of the year, and you don't have to go to the dealership to get that done. Because a lot of times the dealerships, they're going to put recycled oil in the car, and I just don't trust them working on the cars. So we're just going to get this set up right now. We'll go into the car, we'll do a quick drain, we'll let it drain out for about a half hour. We'll fill the crankcase, and then we'll go inside the cabin, and I'll show you quick and easy how to reset the oil life monitor on the steering wheel. So let's get the camera set up right now. We'll get this oil change done in a couple of minutes, and I'll be ready to hit the road. All right, guys, so we're under the 1LE. I got my drip pan under there. So just to show you, there is the 15mm drain plug right there, and then the oil filter is literally right here. Super easy to get to. So we're gonna crack this open first. And the cool thing about this car is that they designed it so you don't have to kill yourself trying to do an oil change and make it a mess. So we already got that loosened up, and we're just gonna pop this out. And this is a reusable drain plug, FYI. Okay, hold on. There we go, okay? So we're gonna let that drain for about 30 minutes. I wanna get a really good drain. We're gonna open up the reservoir up top to create a little bit of a vacuum effect to push out everything from the crankcase. We're gonna pop out the oil filter, put the new one in, retorque this back to factory spec, and we're gonna fill up the oil. Like I said, this is a piece of cake. You kind of see everything is open under here. There's no panels to remove, and there's no risk of getting oil all over your lower panels and steering rack like on the GT350. So super, super easy, and that's why I wanted to shoot this video and show it on the channel, because General Motors had a little bit more common sense in designing their car versus the Ford S550. So we'll be back in a little while. We have the oil filter. The other wrench I had didn't work because this filter's a little smaller. Okay, let's get the drain pan under it. I'm going to try to drop it right into there. Let's see how successful this is. So loosen it up. I usually let it drip a little bit. It's going to go all over your hands. See? Just like that. So I usually like to let it drip a little bit to eliminate the mess going down your sleeve when you're doing an oil change. So this definitely helps. But I mean, guys, look how easy this is compared to the GT350, where it's a freaking nightmare. You gotta take the wheel off if you really wanna do a neat job. And then you're still gonna get oil underneath the plastic pan and all over the steering rack, which drives me absolutely insane. And that's it. Filter's out, everything's good. I'm gonna pop the new one in. Let me just get some gloves and clean up a little bit. There's the new AMSOIL filter, already lubed up. I already filled it with oil. Spin it on. And you're gonna wanna tighten it up, but you don't have to kill it. This is not asking for a torque spec like the early GT350s, where if you watch that video, Oil Change from Hell, where the dealership over the winter decided to seize up my oil filter. So that's it, you're done. So we're gonna drop the car down on the ground, we're gonna fill up the crankcase, check the oil level, reset the indicator, and we're gonna hit the road. Super easy. Do this stuff yourself. All right, guys, car's down on the ground. Everything's cleaned up on the bottom, which really wasn't much. So now we're just gonna fill up the crankcase with the 0W40 AMSOIL, Signature Series. And I'm gonna put 9 quarts in. I'm gonna run the car a little bit. Let's check the oil level, because this car actually has a normal dipstick, unlike some European cars. And we're gonna go inside the car and we're gonna reset the oil indicator light. So super easy. This car, that's one thing I love about American cars in general, is that you can actually work on them. You don't need a diagnostic tool to reset the oil light. You actually have a dipstick, and like General Motors on this particular car with the LT4 on the Alpha platform, they actually made it so you could actually get everything easily off the car without struggling, without making a mess. So I used to do the oil changes on all of my CTSVs. I had a 5th Gen Camaro, heavily modified. Super easy cars to work on. So just shows you every car company kind of does things a little bit differently. So this is not too exciting, so I'm not going to film the whole portion of me filling up the oil, but we'll get the car checked up with the oil level, and we'll get back inside the car to reset the indicator in a couple of moments. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so the final part of the oil change, you can see we got good oil temperature, good oil pressure. I just checked it with the dipstick. So I always measure when I do an oil change how much oil comes out of the car, and I got about a little over 8 quarts that I filled, which means that this engine definitely did burn oil during the 1,100 miles, which would be the break-in period. So to do the reset, you're going to use the steering wheel buttons on the right hand of your steering wheel. You're going to kind of go through this menu. Keep flipping it. Oil life remaining. We're going to hit the select button. We're going to reset it. Yes. Click up. Now we have 100% oil left remaining. So that's pretty much all you do. It's super easy. You don't need any OBD tools. So stay tuned. The next video on the ZL1 1LE is going to be the pretty intense winter wash. So you guys usually like to watch those every year. And then after that, the weather's supposed to clear up the end of next week. And then expect a full-blown review and compare and contrast to the Shelby GT350 platform. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video soon, guys. Take care.